Now, next thing I want to do here is to create my floor. So again, there's various different options that you can go through here. The one that I'm going to do is I'm going to run a ground beam right around the outside here. Okay, and that will act as, if you like, a shutter for my floor. It also will help me in terms of insulation requirements and thermal breaks and things like that as well. So again, you will go as to how you have designed this. Maybe you might have designed a raft floor with a ring beam running around the edge or something like that. Very similar, just different methodologies and whatever. Okay, I'm thinking about. I always think about how this is going to be constructed, and when you arrive on site, obviously you're going to have leveled off the ground, taken off the topsoil, got down to a bearing soil, and then you bring in a digger and he starts to dig out. So he starts here and starts digging these out. Now, so he can dig out the pad slightly lower, all right, but then he's pulling this through here, and the next pull through here, if you like, is going to be the ground beam as such. So that's the way I'm going to go about this here. So I'm going into my ground floor plan, and so there's a couple of ways we can do this. I think there is actually a ground beam in, and I've not used that before, so I might give that a go first, all right, and see how that works out. So it'd be structure, beam, and load family, and again just making sure that I'm in structural framing. Here I am. Okay, so that's those ones. That's not what I'm looking for there. I thought I saw a ground beam here. If not, I'm just going to create a foundation type wall. Oh, do you know what? Wouldn't be in steel, would it? It'd be in concrete. Rectangular beam. Now, that's that one. There's that one. And there's that one here. No. So let's try this one and see how it works. Okay, so I'm going from the it's giving me options here in terms of levels. Not really. Let's see, what has it got here? It's ground level, right? Okay, let's just place one and see how we get on. So again, I'm going from center to center here. Now, let me get into my section here and see how that's worked out. Oh, that's spot on. All right, I'm happy with that. Now, it should have some dimensions here, so I want to bring it up to the top here. So let's see, what have we got here? What length is that? Maybe in, yeah, so we've got a H here, so I'm going to bring that H down to say 500 and see how that works out. Apply. Okay, so it will be, I might drop this down to this level here as well. Okay, so I'm going to leave the 500 there, and then let's see if we have a, we should have a Z offset value, so that would be say minus 55, something like that. Yeah, okay, see it? All right, and it'll actually be a little bit more, so let's just take a measurement on that. That's 2.9, another 3, so select, and it'll be minus 58, say. Right, okay. Now, so we want to create similar. Create similar, and it wants us to go back. So, okay, we just go back into our ground floor plan. Select it, create similar. Now we can run around, and notice that I'm not pulling it through. Okay, I'm going to go from column to column. Okay, so I'll just pause it here, and I'll do this. Now, so there's my ground beam running the whole way around there. Now, as I said, that kind of provides now a shuttering for my floor, so I'll go back into the ground level here. Now, obviously, this floor would be poured in sections. What they would do on site is set up this one for a pour, skip this one, set up this one for a pour, skip the next one, and so on, and then they do the infill there for expansion joints and that type of stuff. Okay, you'd have your reinforcing running the whole way through, and they'll put in a water bar, something like that, within the crack joint, so that no moisture can come from the ground up through the floor or anything else like that. But that would be the process, the procedure. So I'm not going to do that. That's the contractor's business. I think I could provide a detail for the water bar and whatever else, but that's for later down the road. So we're going to do a floor here now. So we're into architecture and we're into floor. Now let's see, what have we got here? Okay. Ooh, not a lot, says you. Okay, so I'm just going to pause here for a second. Right, I was just thinking of a strategy for my floor here. So this is, it's an office, and it seems to be quite occupied with quite a lot of people. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a screed, and the reason I'm going to put a screed in the top is that it gives me the option of being able to do underfloor heating. Rather than just a slab, which is power floated finish. You'd probably do the power floated finish if it was going to be a warehouse or something like that, where you don't need heating, underfloor heating. So, and I think it's probably the most efficient way of heating this building as well. So now that I know I'm going to start off with a screed, I'm going to build my floor here. So I'll start off with a generic. I'll edit type, I'll duplicate, and I'll say steel building. Ground floor. Ground floor. Alright, steel building, ground floor. Like so. Now, I'm going to, I always like to do is I like to put a solid fill in my core scale fill pattern, and rather than black, I'll do the dark grey. Okay, and edit here. Now, so we've got some categories here, and I am immediately going to insert a few more, and I'll start off with the top here, which is going to be a finish 5, and it's going to be a concrete screed. Okay, so let's get all the way back up into the C's here. So recast, I've got a sand cement, and these are ones that I created before. There should be a default one, there is one here, right? And in the surface pattern, I'm just going to make that a little bit lighter. I think I just will put a little bit of a grey pattern in it, something like that there. I'm going to go apply, okay, and this will be, say, 75 mil. Right, my next one will be a structure, and this is going to be a in situ cast concrete, this one. All right, and I'll do a little solid fill on that one as well. Okay, and this will be, sorry, wrong one. It'll be on the cut pattern that I need to put this. And the concrete is in there again. So I lighten up on the actual graphic indicator there, and this will be, say, 225. All right, now I'm going to put my insulation in here now. All right, and this will be a rigid insulation, like so. And in the cut pattern, in the background, it'll be a solid fill, and I'll put in my light color here. So I put this in at 225, 255, 255, 225. Okay, and I'm not a huge fan of that pattern for this. I prefer the see if we can find this. It's kind of the honeycomb. I don't have access to modeling here, right? And if I can't find the honeycomb, right, we'll go with a vertical line, something like that. And again, we lighten up on that pattern there too. So that's that one. Now we're going to put in 2 layers of this, so this is going to be 150, and we're going to do the exact same again. Okay, and this will be 150. Now I have to change the function here. This will be thermal, and that will be thermal. Now we need to add in another one, move it down, and this is going to be our membrane layer, and this would be a radon barrier or a DPM, something like that. So let's go and find that. Membranes. Just sometimes finding these things can be a little bit tricky. Okay, just bear with me here a second while now this moisture barrier damp proofing will do for the moment. Okay, and then we need to add 2 more in, so we'll insert 2 more. Okay, down, 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 and this will be a substrate, and it's going to be our sand blinding. So concrete, I think it's there, site sand. All right, and again change the cut pattern to sand here. And change the graphics to a lighter grey. So okay, and then this will be our substrate 2, which is going to be hardcore. Site hardcore, and we can leave the triangles, but lighter grey. Okay, and the sand will be 50. Will be 225, something along those lines. Now, that's to start off with, okay. And there's always people will say, oh, you should put your radon barrier underneath the concrete and put the insulation underneath that. That's all fine. I don't mind which way you do that. It does need to go below the concrete. That's the important thing, because not only does it act as to stop moisture coming up through the ground, it acts as a barrier for the moisture within the concrete to disappear into the sand, okay? And obviously concrete needs water for that chemical reaction to harden, and you don't want the water seeping away through sand or something like that. So the moisture barrier, the GPM, the radon barrier, acts as both ways: stop moisture coming up here, but also stop moisture from escaping, so that chemical reaction for the concrete can take place. Now, let's see if that'll work for us. So error 7. We need to bring the core down here. Okay, and below that, I think. Now we're good to go. All right. Okay, and I'll just take out my. So I'm going to go from. That'll be interesting. Let's go from here, right, and we'll just see how that works out to there. Now, save the project while we're at it, and we'll get into one of our sections here and see how that's looking. Okay, wrong section. Section 2. Now, so that's kind of how that's looking at the moment. Now we will need to do a little bit of adjustment here, and whether I bring the screed over that, I probably don't need to do that. So perhaps there's always little bits of tweaking that you need to do with this. We're into the ground floor and we'll edit the boundary. And I think what I'll do is I'll use the align tool here. So I'll say to this, align that, to this, align that. Oh, do you know what we'll do? We'll bring it, of course, yeah, we'll bring it to the edge here of the let's cancel. I want to cancel that. So it is to this, that one. Oh, to that one, that one. Okay. And I'll come right over here to that. And it is to that one, that one. If I'm going to be using this as shuttering for the floor, then that's what I should do. All right, back into section 2, and let's see how that works. Now that's a little bit better. Okay, that's a little bit better. You can see now that the insulation, I might just make those, let's see what that distance is there. It's 42. So if I go into here and we'll edit that type to the structure, so rather than 150, if we make that 120, right, and make this one 120, we'll go okay and okay. Now you can see that my insulation is sitting on top of the actual slab on top of the pad, if you like. All right. Now what we would do is we would continue that hardcore down around here, and the sand maybe as well, something like that, down around there, and we can do that at detail level. But that is my floor in now. Okay.